it's impossible to do this. Same with x squared plus 25. It's not factorable, and x squared plus 64. None of these are factorable. The whole thing about difference of squares, difference means to subtract. If you're not subtracting two values, it's not a difference of squares problem. It's a very easy clue right there. Now we're going to move on to perfect squares. Perfect squares are just like our previous examples. There's no difference here. The previous examples that we just did, which we have, A, B, C, A being 1, in this case B is 8, C is 16, exact same way, m plus n is equal to 8, m times n is equal to 16, looking for two numbers that satisfy these two equations. So we have 16 divided by 1, 16 divided by 2, which is 8, divided by 3 doesn't work, divided by 4, which is 4. In this case, since we have the numbers 4 and 4 together, you can stop here because number 4 is repeating. So these are all the possible factors. Now you can continue if you want to be sure. You can do divide by 5, divide by 6, divide by 7, divide by 8, divide by 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's fine. You'll still only get these three sets of pairs. 1, 16, 2, 8, 4, and 4. Now which one of these makes sense? Well, 1 plus 16 is not 8, 2 plus 8 is not 8, 4 plus 4 is 8. And we're just going to use that trick that I showed you. This is going to be x plus 4 times x plus 4. That's the answer. That's it. The only reason to call this a perfect square is because both brackets are exactly the same. That's it. It's not really special in any regard, other than the fact that two brackets are exactly the same. The way you solve this is exactly the same as the other examples that I did. The only difference, once again, is the brackets are exactly the same, and you could write this if you want to combine the brackets into one nice tidy bracket. Sorry, we write it like that. That's the only difference. So yeah, let's do this example here. Same thing. A, B, C. A is 1, so I can use that shortcut method. M plus n is equal to negative 12. M times n is equal to 36. We're going to do 36 now. Divide by 1. 36. Divide by 2. Which is 18. Divide by 3. Which is 12. Divide by 4. Which is 9. Divide by 5 doesn't work. Divide by 6. Which is 6. 6 is a repeating. I can stop here. These are all the possible factor pairs. So now, which one of these makes sense? Well, how do you get negative 12? Well, it's not 1 plus 36 or 2 plus 18 or 3 plus anything. You're not adding these numbers to get a negative number, so you have to subtract. So one of these numbers, one of these sides has to be negative. It could be either 1 minus 36 or 36 minus 1. But wait, here's a trick. The product is positive, so I know that both numbers have to be negative. Because the only way to get a positive number is either to multiply two positive numbers or to multiply two negative numbers. And since we know that our sum has to be negative, then you're going to have two negative numbers. And I'm just going to go right over here because I know the answer is going to be negative 6 and negative 6. So the final answer is going to be x minus 6 using the shortcut method times x minus 6. That's it. And once again, if you really want to, you could write it like this. So the shortcut method really helps. Oops. So here we have let's see. All right. So x squared plus 5x plus 4. A is 1, so we can do that shortcut method. B is here, C is here. M plus N equals 5. M times N equals 4. So only possible ways to make 4 when you're multiplying two numbers are 1 and 4, and 2 and 2. And 1 times 4 is, and then you can add these numbers, right? So 1 plus 4 is 5, so it's got to be 1 and 4. So, yeah, the answer is just x plus 1, x plus 4. 1 and 4, and 1 and 4. Those are my two values. Here, first example where we have A is not 1. A is 2. B and C. But this is actually a very trick question. Do you know why? The reason why this is tricky is because A, in fact, can be 1. You can make your life easier. How? Your first step is to always check to see if you can divide every single term here, all three terms, by your A value. And in this example, we can divide each by A. But remember, we can't just divide because that's changing the value of our equation here. Well, we can factor. What that means is we take that 2 and write it in front of that bracket. What bracket? The bracket that we just created. And 2x squared divided by 2 is x squared. 12x divided by 2 is 6x. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. This is called common factoring. Common factoring because you're factoring a common value, a common number, a common factor. So the common factor was 2, and now my A value is 1. And now I can use that shortcut. So we're just going to factor now x squared plus 6x plus 5. We know that m plus n has to equal 6. M times n has to equal 5. What are some factors of 5? Honestly, it's just 1 and 5. That's it. You can't divide 5 by 2, by 3, by 4, only by 5 and by 1. So it has to be 1 and 5, 1 and 5, and it makes sense. Now I didn't go over the example where this doesn't work, but here, I'll just finish this. So the answer is equal to 2. Don't forget that 2. And then we have two brackets, x plus 1, x plus 5. There. That's the answer. So that 2 is still there in front, and then you have your two brackets. Let's see. All right, so now, okay, yeah, we're done. So now you should be able to perform binomial expansion, factor trinomials. Make sure you do your quizzes. And yeah, that's it. Good luck. So any questions now?